Faith community offers support to the family of fallen Chicago police officer Krystal Rivera. Today, prayers for the family of fallen officer Krystal Rivera at Faith World Church. Late Thursday night, Officer Rivera was part of a team that tried to stop someone at 82nd and Drexel who was believed to be armed, according to CPD. When the person ran into an apartment, Adrian Rucker allegedly pointed a rifle at the officers. Prosecutors said in court as the officers pursued Rucker, Officer Rivera was accidentally shot when a fellow officer's weapon discharged. Today, Rivera's mother was in court for the appearance and did not comment publicly. The judge ordered Rucker remain in custody. Prosecutors told the judge Rucker is a convicted felon who had several warrants for his arrest.
Is Rucker the fall guy for the officer involved shooting? Hey, what's good, what's good, what's good, what's good? Welcome to D. Smith. Let's discuss. Welcome to today's session. I seen this story where a police officer was unalive. Krystal Rivera. Let me say this, man. As having a family member as a police officer, they just want to go home to their family, right? To their loved ones. So let me say that. Rest in peace to this beautiful young lady. But the narrative that is being pushed by the Chicago Police Department, the narrative that is being pushed by the news media, paint this story, it's kind of weird to me once you start looking more into it. So, a trained police officer sees his partner chasing someone, and he fires a gun. It makes sense to me. So, felon pointed gun at cops before officer accidentally killed partner. Accidentally, right? So Adrian Rucker is charged with confronting police while armed with an assault-style gun, which led officer to open fire and fatally shoot Officer Krystal Rivera. So those two sentences don't make sense to me. He confronted, and Krystal ended up dead. Well, was it confronted or was it a chase? So you could play semantic with these words, but let's go. So according to this news report, right, a Northwest Illinois man pointed an assault-style gun at officers during a foot chase that resulted in the friendly shooting death of Officer Krystal Rivera. Adrian Rucker, 25, Freeport, Illinois, has been charged in the police confrontation that led to the death. So Rucker is charged with 5 felonies, including armed violence, possessing a firearm, and controlled substance, among other. He was held in jail pending a trial at his first court hearing. Rivera, 36, a mother of a young daughter. Been with the department for 4 years, man. So this is the, I guess the building. You see how narrow these buildings are. If you've ever been to some of these buildings in Chicago, the gangways are narrow and the hallways are narrow. So for an officer who's standing in the doorway, sees his partner runs or chasing someone and he fires a weapon, it makes no sense to me. But in those circumstances, stress, adrenaline, I would like to see the body cam footage to see what really happens, because I'm not taking the word of a dirty Chicago Police Department who has a history of lying, right? So, according to this article, officers were patrolling the area when they wanted to do an investigation. They seen somebody run into a near apartment. The officers chased them, where they were confronted by Rucker, who was standing behind a couch and had a gun pointed at the officers. So Rucker was seen on surveillance footage inside the apartment building holding the pistol when officers entered the apartment. The person being pursued by police jumped over the couch and ran down the hallway in the apartment while Rucker pointed the gun towards officers. This story is wild. Rivera partner standing in the doorway accidentally fired the gun as Rivera chased the suspect down the hallway. I gotta see the body cam footage, man. This makes no sense to me. As a trained officer, right? Rivera was struck. Rivera died from gunshot wounds to the back. So this is where it got another layer to the story. Officers got Rivera into a car and tried to rush her to a hospital, but they crashed and the car caught on fire. Rivera was moved into another car and taken to the hospital where she died from her wounds. That's crazy, man. So her partner sees her chasing this man, and he fired his gun towards her. Then they get her into a car, crash the car, and the car catch on fire. Then they get her to another car. This story is wild. Rucker made good on the escape, but was apprehended 22 hours later. So they found some guns, drugs, and some other stuff. So Rucker made good on the escape. So the person ran into a nearby. So it's two people, right? The person that ran into the building and Rucker. So in this article, they go on to talk about Rucker criminal history, which they're gonna do. That's the news media police. That's how they do it. Rucker's public defender pointed out that many pieces of evidence used by the prosecution had not yet been produced and called into question of their claims. It was also noted that Rucker was self-employed volunteer in his free time. So they wasn't gonna let this man out after the incident, right? Even though he didn't do it, they're gonna blame him instead of blaming the officer who fired his weapon, seeing his partner run. Now make it make sense, or chase somebody. He fired his weapon. So I think I did say this. It was a rumor going around that the partner and her was having an affair, and she was going to the wife to let them know what was going on. And it's all rumors, no facts, just rumors, that she was gonna tell the wife. So the person who aimed the rifle at officers is still being held in custody, police said, and the circumstances that led to the initial stop. So we got to see body cam footage of this. And I think earlier when I said about the you ever been in these buildings in Chicago? You look how narrow this is. These buildings are narrow, and for an officer to fire his weapon as he sees his partner chasing somebody is insane. I wonder who is this officer. We'll never find out, right? But yeah, shout out to that beautiful lady. I know as an officer, the goal is to make it home to your family, man. But yeah, this is a wild story. Hope those rumors are not true. But the fact I'm just gonna end with this right here because this part is crazy. Rucker was seen on surveillance footage inside the apartment building holding some type of gun. When officers entered the apartment, the person being pursued by police jumped over the couch and ran down in the hallway in the apartment while Rucker pointed the gun towards officers. So this is not funny. The story is crazy, right? The story is crazy. It makes no sense to me, man. Rucker was seeing no surveillance footage inside the apartment building holding a gun. When officers entered the apartment, the person being pursued by police jumped over a couch. She ran down the hallway chasing while Rucker is holding a gun on them. And a police officer has a gun pointed at him and shoots. Come on, man. Is it more to the story right here? Rivera partner standing in the doorway accidentally fired their gun as Rivera chased. But he has a gun pointed at him. So Rivera was shot in the back. Officers got Rivera into the car and tried to rush her to the hospital, but they crashed and the car caught on fire. Rivera was moved into another car and taken to the hospital. Man, it's more to this story. I have to see the body cam footage. But yeah, let me know what you think, man. Her partner is lying. Allegedly. But yeah, shout out to that beautiful young lady. Welcome to the session. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm out of here.